Some parents are absolutely terrible parents and then go on to wonder why their kids don't talk to them anymore. r/insane parents is home to some of the worst examples of why some people should not be able to procreate. My mother thinks that I had something to do with the Charlie Kirk shooting because I am trans. Did you hear that Charlie was going to be shot or murdered before it happened? Please answer me. And then the kid said, you need to stop. And then the mum said, I asked a question, did you know this is important? And then says, did you know again? Answer me, did you know you're deflecting? Apparently if you deny that you shot someone, that's deflection. Okay? It's a very simple question. Did you know you are very lost? I pray for you every day. If you had any insight in this, you better tell the authorities. That is absolutely crazy. And this is evidence, by the way, that the rhetoric you see in the media demonizing trans people, acting like they're a danger to society, is actually effective in brainwashing people to believe that trans people are a danger. The stats will literally prove to you that the majority of shooters are not trans people, and the media likes to scapegoat trans people and try act like they're a danger to society, when in reality there's absolutely no data that shows that. And I feel so sorry for this child. I really hope they manage to get away from their parent. It's one thing to pray about your kid every day because of who they are and want your kid to essentially change who they, feel they are inside. And then it's another thing to point blank accuse your child of shooting somebody based off of their gender identity. Absolutely insane. My estranged biological mum, everybody, and they said, happy birthday, I wish I aborted you, you're a piece of garbage. The world would be a better place without you. That's a lovely message. Average parent on r/insane parent. Honestly, I don't get why people say things like this. Surely you might as well just go no contact and not DM your kids that they should have been aborted. The level of hate that you must have for your child to actually make it known that you wish they were dead is astronomical. And I don't think, unless the child is like a pedophile or a rapist, right? Absolutely nothing justifies telling your kid that they should kill themselves, because that's what it boils down to. And it's absolutely crazy. Why message happy birthday if that's what you're going to say? Just grow up. This is a fully grown adult, by the way, telling their kid that they should kill themselves. A mother posting with their child, saying that their child opens the doors for her, pumps her gas, pulls her chair out, and walks on the outside. Okay? I don't think that it's anything weird from the child's perspective. I think that the child is polite and kind and it's doing nice things, but it's the fact that this is a post that you would do about your partner. There's posts that's things that my boyfriend does that would send low effort boyfriends into a coma, and then it's them listing the things that their partner does. This is kind of weird. If you saw that caption, you would probably think that's about her partner and not her kid, but okay. Grandmother is crashing out because my daughter knows the word transgender. Oh God. Me, 31 male, daughter 4, recently had questions about a boy who looked like a girl, so I bought her a book called I Am Jazz and explained trans people in a kid-friendly way. Recently my daughter told me I think I'm a boy and I want to be a boy because I don't want to have babies, so after a good discussion with her, I decided to give her other caregivers a heads up so that they weren't blindsided, because they're fairly conservative and I didn't want it to be handled with anything other than, okay sweetie, let's get back to your Legos. After telling my dad about the incident, he crashed out. I just wish he was more accepting. The hard part is he is an essential part of our care right now due to the cost of daycare and my custody situation, so he's really the only person who can watch her while I'm at work. She loves her grandma. I don't want that relationship to fracture in any way at this age. Oh, okay, I think abuelo means granddad. I'm fucking stupid. She loves her granddad. I don't want that relationship to fracture in any way at this young age. He's sweet and loving with her. This is the first time he's encountered gender identity talks with family. I'm queer, but I'm also cis, and he's not handling it well. If I have to shell out for daycare to keep her safe, so be it. But God, wouldn't it be nice if kids could just be themselves without bigots messing things up? He introduced blank to the word or concept of transgender. They said, I explained it in a kid-friendly terms because she saw someone who was visibly masculine dressed in a feminine way. Don't forget that I'm part of the LGBT community and raising her to accept and understand people regardless of gender identity. They said, since she has been with me, she has never ever had questions about being a boy. She's only 4. And they said, well, she trusted me enough to tell me her feelings. There's nothing inherently wrong or poisonous about the word or concept. They said, with all due respect, blank, you also should be honest with her and tell her that she's born a girl. There's nothing wrong with that. And they said it's just her learning about the world and exploring the space of her identity and who she wants to be. I don't think she really thinks she's a boy. She just doesn't want to have babies. I explained it very clearly in the message. They said, but you need to be careful about telling her that she can be whatever she wants to be. Blank, she's only 4 years old. Please protect her innocence and let her grow up before you introduce sexuality to her. They said she can be whatever she wants to be. If she wanted to be a boy, she would be accepted and allowed to explore that. Those are my values. There is nothing sexual about gender identity. They said she's a biological female. They said she's still innocent and she's still a child. She's just figuring out who she wants to be. No harm in it. This is the way blank and I am going to raise her. And if she decides she wants to be something, she can. End of discussion. You don't get a say in who she wants to be. Like I very clearly said in my text, I don't think there is cause for alarm. They said, do you want her to grow up to be a young woman someday? I want her to be confident in herself and accepted by her family no matter what she decides. I don't care what she is as long as she's happy. The only reason I'm scared for her to possibly have an alternate gender identity is because of people like you. You are what I'm scared of, not her choices. They said, you're her father blank. This is an uncomfortable topic for me because she's 4 years old and innocent, so we can please not talk about this anymore. Let's just concentrate on dance class and her having a good time. Please, I don't want to talk about this anymore. This is between you and blank. They said, like I said, there is no cause for alarm right now. She is just learning about life and had questions, and I answered them in a child-friendly way. She doesn't know what sex is. She doesn't know what sexuality is. All she knows is some people dress differently and look different. That makes them happy, and that's it. They said, please don't talk about this anymore. I'm really upset. I just don't want to talk about it. Please stop. I'm asking you, please stop. And then they said, okay. Honestly, the fact that there's people out there that genuinely view like gender identity as some weird, like predatory conversation. She just says, I don't want to be a girl because I don't want to have babies, right? Just like how when I was younger, it was like, I don't want to be a girl because I don't want to have periods. That doesn't mean I'm trans. But if she does grow up to have a different gender identity, who gives a fuck? And I always find this topic so fascinating. There are so many people who think that it's so woke to explore gender identity, when in my opinion I don't think there's anything like outlandish at all about, first of all, obviously the concept of being transgender. Secondly, first of all, it's backed up, by the way, by science, that it isn't a mental illness. It is literally a scientific backed fact that some people genuinely are essentially born into the wrong body. There's no arguing that. People try and argue by saying you can't argue with biological facts, but being transgender is that is a biological fact. You are trans or you're not trans, right? When it comes to the topic of non-binary people, I really understand the concept of non-binary people, and I've understood the concept of non-binary people before I was like, I guess, as woke as I am now. I hate using word woke like that. It just kind of gives me the ick. But you get what I'm saying? Like, people that say I don't really feel like a boy or a girl, I get that. Why is that so hard for us to understand? Of course, there's going to be people out there who feel like they don't really fit in anywhere. Why is that so crazy for people to get their heads around? Why are people so terrified that their kid is going to, believe that they are something because you're talking about it? When I was younger, I used to read books about dragons and, monsters and ghosts, and I didn't grow up to think that I'm a dragon, a monster, or a ghost. Kids aren't stupid. They just need to be supported. We need a lot less bigoted people to act like conversations around gender identity with children at an appropriate level. We need people to stop acting like this is like some form of indoctrination. It's very, very strange. And, not accepting children is what leads them to then go on to have severe mental health issues and kill themselves. They think they're better off being dead than being able to be themselves because their family are like this guy who is refusing to acknowledge that trans people exist, and trans people will exist regardless of your opinion. That's like me saying, I don't believe in the sun. It's like, okay, well, you can not believe in the sun, but the sun very much still exists. Mum happily airing out a daughter's cry for help. My daughter blank now being supervised on her tablet, which I put password on because she's making threats online about suicide to her friends, which I got a text from one of her friends' mums saying to check on her. So now I told her since she can't be trusted on her tablet, she has to sit beside me while playing on her tablet. There is nothing wrong in her life, but gets the idea that it's funny to joke about hurting herself or attempting to. And then they've taken a picture of the daughter and posted this online. There is this weird phenomenon where a lot of people will believe that somebody threatening to harm themselves or talking about harming themselves is just purely attention seeking for the sake of attention seeking, rather than acknowledging, even if it is attention seeking, their attention seeking is a cry for help because they are in emotional pain. And many children do not know how to process the emotional pain that they're feeling. A lot of children, when they are very overwhelmed with a lot going on in their life, feel they don't really have any help, and a way to get assistance is by saying they want to harm themselves. I think it's very easy for people to turn around and say that such behaviours are attention seeking, and they're saying it to get people to look at them and they want to feel like they're the centre of attention. Even if that is the case, if a child is threatening to harm themselves physically or take their own life, there is a mental issue going on. There's a mental health crisis, and you should take that seriously, whether you think they're going to do it or not. They are clearly deeply struggling, and to post your kid online who has been threatening to hurt themselves to their friend is absolutely crazy behaviour. And I guarantee this is the type of mum that will turn around in the future and say things like, why do you not talk to me anymore? Why have you pulled away from me? I hate parents that say to their kids who are suffering, what have you got to suffer about? If I had a kid and I saw this, on their phone, I wouldn't care whether I believe it or not. It doesn't matter whether you think they're going to do it or not. It matters that they have said those words, and that needs to be treated with precaution and with sensitivity. And if you can't do that, then don't have children. This is a public group on Facebook. My monster-in-law chose to breastfeed to spite me. She knew that my grandkids would be closer to her than me if she did. It makes me mad thinking about it. What? Bro basically said that her daughter-in-law breastfed her kids and she did it on purpose so that the kids would be closer to the mum than the grandma. Like, there's no way that's real. Like, as the comment said, there's no way. That cannot be, genuine. This cannot be a genuine thing that you have said. That is absolutely insane. I mean, that's like victim complex 101, genuinely believing that your grandkids are being breastfed because their mother wants to spite you. As if breastfeeding is easy. Like, breastfeeding is so difficult. I think the fact that you think that makes me think you've probably never breastfed, because it's not, I don't know why I'm acting like I know, I've never breastfed, but from what I've seen, breastfeeding is really, really challenging. Not for all women, obviously, but for a lot of women. So imagine believing that a woman will put her body through that just to get at you. I refuse to believe that's real. A loving suggestion from my father. You sound like the miserable soul I remember. Put a gun to your head and pull the trigger. And they said that's what you should do. The world will be a better place. You just said that to your child. Again, I can't even fathom this ever being something that you could say to your child. I mean, that's obviously a very, very messed up relationship that has gone wrong. Again, I unless there's some form of abhorrent crime that's taken place, how can you say that to your child? I really don't know. Mum is insane. And then there's a screenshot that says, Mum died last night at 3:11 a.m. of a heart attack. Nobody can talk now. We have to figure out what to do. She wanted to be cremated. I'm sure this won't bother you. I love how they've got the exact time. I mean, to be fair, some people know the exact time. Then it says, I'm not dead, but I could be because of my heart issues. Because how bad they are, my doctor is freaking out. Mum doesn't think you care if she dies, and she's really hurt because she needs you in her life and to love her unconditionally like she loved you. Nothing screams unconditional love for your child like pretending you've died of a heart attack to win them over. That's crazy. And I love how it goes from mum died from a heart attack, so I guess the sibling, then to the mum saying I'm not dead, and then back to the sibling. Wow, that one was really thought through. That one was extremely thought through. I'm sure that worked. Yeah, you know what, Mum, I wasn't sure about having a relationship with you, but after you faked your own death to me to get my attention, it really won me over. It did. 15-year-old unschooled kids can't read. Great. The unschooled kids is all I need to know. My 15-year-olds aren't reading. Should I be worried? Yes, you should be worried. My 15-year-old twins still aren't reading yet. We've always trusted in natural learning and haven't done any formal academics. Right. They spend their days gardening, caring for animals, building things, cooking and foraging, and are very capable and happy. I'm still committed to unschooling and don't want to push curriculum or lessons, but I'm starting to wonder whether there are ways to gently support literacy without forcing it. There's actually nothing wrong with forcing an education, if forcing means just sending them to school so they can read and write, which is a very, very, very basic skill that every adult should know. And having raised your kids so that they can't read and write at the age of 15 is a form of neglect. That is 100% a form of neglect. And look, I know that some people don't like schools. They don't think that they teach them everything that's completely useful. And I completely get that. I think we didn't learn about a lot of things in schools that we should have learned about. But not sending your kids somewhere to learn basic academics, which you need to get any job, but teaching them how to forage is truly, truly so misjudged. And yes, if your kids genuinely can't read at the age of 15, you should be deeply, deeply concerned and ashamed. You should be ashamed. The funny thing about this whole subreddit is that when I'm telling these parents and I'm reacting to this content saying how bad they are, I think of the people that say, don't parent shame. You deserve to be parent shamed so hard that it hurts. If I'm going to be honest, they're very capable basically at doing things that they would have learnt to do anyway because you've not actually put any effort into... Isn't that illegal? I thought it was a crime to not send your kids to school to get a certain level of an education. I can't believe this is real, and the poor children. the poor children. It's almost like they have that kind of life. They're uneducated. They don't get good jobs. And they're like, how can we punish our children? Oh, I know. Let's make them exactly like us, illiterate and stupid. You know, education is really important, and it is a lifeline for most people. And education is freedom, and education is your future. And without that, what do you plan on doing? Maybe working for a farm? I guess you could pick crops or something. I don't really know. You're very, very limited, and it's a very selfish thing to have kids and not school them. Had to get testing done for cervical cancer. This is the compassion I get from my mother. Only took one sample from the colposcopy that she said she isn't expecting to come back as anything. Should have biopsy results in a week, fingers crossed. She did say I need to avoid secondhand smoke exposure, since it's just as bad as if I smoked in terms of causing cancer. And then the mum very graciously and kindly says, I don't need more texts. That create more stress. Oh yes, your kid is getting tested for cancer, but you don't want to hear that you can't smoke around her anymore because that's giving you a lot of stress. Oh, that's so understandable. You might be facing cancer, my friend, but I'm facing not being able to smoke around you, which is worse, realistically. What a delight. Oh God, your eldest son will be the most toxic guy you ever date. It feels actually not okay that I'm clapping eyes on this. I shouldn't be able to look at this. This feels illegal. That is not okay. That is deeply distressing. I feel distressed and I feel, what the fuck, bro? Oh, some of these parents are never beaten the I want to fuck my son allegations. That is so inappropriate and fucking strange. Oh, I fucking love AI slop. Good way for kids to be socially stunted. And then it's this AI Facebook slop. Facebook is full of AI slop, by the way. I mean, what's the problem? I'm good with that. And then it's hashtag homeschool with a picture, by the way, of, I guess they're trying to make out that that's a liberal because they've got coloured hair. Love that. And then they're holding a joint with a finger. They are literally holding a joint with a finger. The caption is, if you homeschool your kids, they won't fit in. And then the mum's saying, that's correct. That really fucking ate. That ate so hard. Whoever made this is, oh, they're so smart and intelligent. I'm sure they went to school and received extensive education. They must have done to have created such a masterpiece. I love Facebook, how it's full of genuinely the most AI, ridiculous, right-wing posts that genuinely make my arsehole twitch. Mum AI generated her kid's birthday decor for fake internet points instead of actually decorating. Oh God, more AI generated slop. Happy birth, Abby. That's crazy. It looks AI generated too. Tomorrow our blank turns the big 10. Time definitely flew by. She's turning out to be an amazing not so little girl. Yesterday was my niece's 10th birthday and her mum, my sister-in-law, posted these decorations on Facebook. I saw the post while I was at work. I noticed the happy birth Abby banner. So I started looking closer. I scrolled through the time. I remember she posted something similar for my nephew's birthday a few weeks ago. Sure enough, it's AI. As it turns out, my mother-in-law had already seen the post and showed my niece, so she went home on her birthday expecting the whole shebang. Instead, she came home to nothing. That's really sad. It's not even hard to do that. Disappointed, she asked her mum where her decorations were, and mum's response was, why are you even here? I'm in a bad mood. I was able to pick up a real birthday banner and a few things from the dollar store on my way home. I didn't make it in time for a birthday dinner, but we got the decor up before singing happy birthday and serving cake. Hopefully, after getting called out on it, the mum won't pull something like this again. She was heartbroken, and I know this will end up being a core memory for her. Yeah, of course it will. That's horrible. That's not even that, like, it's cute, but it's not even that hard to replicate. It's just a tablecloth, some balloons, and a happy birthday banner, and then a little centerpiece. That would have taken like half an hour to set up, not even that perhaps. You couldn't even do that for your daughter who's turning, into double digits now. That's so sad. Poor girl. I would have been well upset if I was 9 years old turning 10 and I saw my mum posted something on Facebook and it wasn't real. I'd be like, what's wrong with you, you fucking psycho? I think I've looked through enough of these insane parents. If you did enjoy the video, give me a like. Welcome to my Reacts channel, by the way. Obviously, my main channel is just Cataclysm. The link is in the description below. And my other channel where I just do random story times is in the link below too. So be sure to check them out and give me some suggestions for any of the Reddit forums or kind of second channel videos you'd like me to do. And yeah, subscribe. And I will be back soon.